Thursday, Thursday, otherwise known as
TBT, thoughtful also.
Absolutely. And speaking of thoughtfulness, let's talk about what's been going on in the courts, because there's some people who want to float sana. Don't understand, what the arguments were on day 1 and day 2.
Yeah.
So basically the argument was this Chief Justice is out of town. As in out of the country. Yes. So she assigned the DCJ,
that's Deputy Chief Justice
Philomena Mwilu,
yes,
to appoint a 3-judge bench,
which will be mandated
to listen to Gachagua's,
which is a huge task.
Are you giving me, guy?
It is a very huge task.
So anyway, that all lawyers argued that, and in the end, the arguments were thrown out. Meaning the 3-judge bench can continue
with their mandate.
Right?
Yeah.
So now, hopefully, depending on the ruling today, things can begin. Or things will fall apart, like Chinua said.
So what do we expect today? Joining us in studio is
live Joshua Nyamori.
Your design.
He's been loving this circus. He's like a kid in a candy store.
You enjoy the way things are unfolding.
Yes.
As a lawyer, definitely we love it. I know it is straining the country, but it is important. I remember the former Chief Justice, Professor, was the first Chief Justice after the new constitution.
Yes,
Mutunga.
Yes,
did encourage Kenyans to litigate every article of the constitution, so that the meaning and interpretation of those articles could be settled. And I think this is what the country is doing. We are literally litigating everything. That is not bad. So that we settle on what it means when we talk about impeachment.
No wonder lawyers get paid so much money.
They do. And some of them get involved. They know we are losing for the bag.
Yes.
Let me just try.
Yes.
You decide.
Even a losing client has a right to legal representation. And when a patient is in the theater, and there are very few chances, probably 1% of success,
the doctor will still
tell the patient he must do what he can, and that is what we do
to save life.
Yes.
Okay. So where are we on this case now? The courts threw out the defense's trying to kick out this 3-judge bench, right? And the argument was very, the argument was that actually the CJ is out of town.
Yeah.
The DCJ cannot appoint a 3-judge bench. That was very mundane.
In my view, they had a right to raise it, but I think it was unprecedented, and it was unfortunate, especially to see senior counsels, raise denigrating remarks towards the bench itself. Normally we fight against each other in court, so you will fight against your opponent counsel, but we always treat courts with dignity. At some point, especially in the first appearance before this bench, it was a second appearance, but the first after the impeachment, I felt that the advocates, especially the advocates of the petitioners, had treated the court badly and tried to indignify the courts, which is unfortunate, because it does not matter which client you represent today, you will come back to the same bench the following day representing probably a different client. And it is important that we treat the courts with dignity, and we ensure that they remain honorable, even when we disagree with them. Yes, because the law provides an opportunity for appeal if you're not happy with what they have done. So to that extent, I think they misbehaved, and I think the court did not, let it lie. The court raised it yesterday in its ruling. So you asked, so where are we now? We have a plethora of petitions.
plethora
of
petitions. Yeah, probably beyond the last I counted was 35. Yeah, so they might be 100 by the end of the day today. And so the Chief Justice and now the Deputy Chief Justice have empaneled this panel of 3 judges to deal with the petitions and especially the applications that are lying in there. So the first obstacle was dealt with yesterday when they decided that they were properly empaneled, and so they could hear the matter. But there was a second application that was raised by the petitioner's advocates, and that is the application for their recusal as judges.
Right.
And that is set to be heard today at 2:30. This morning they are dealing with, more or less administrative issues to, try and give directions on how to consolidate the matters. Yeah, so we are hoping that once those are dealt with today, most likely the applications would be had either late, the urgent applications. And one of the most urgent applications is the application by the respondents, especially the National Assembly, the Senate, and I think the executive arm of the government, that the conservative, orders, conservatory orders given to the petitioners be lifted, may be had later today or probably tomorrow.
Is it true? Can it happen? Just if anything, to fast track.
Yeah, consolidation is a process that is allowed in court, allowed by the practice rules, to try and bring various cases dealing with the same course of action, same issue, together. And I think they had alluded yesterday that there is already consolidation. They have categorized the cases into 2: those that were filed before the impeachment and those that were filed after the impeachment. And therefore, probably they will be consolidated in that manner, or they could still move further and consolidate them into one proceedings. In which case, all the parties would come together, and we will have quite a huge, a list of litigants. Yeah, so it is a difficult case. It's going to consume time.
Will it?
It's going to consume time. Time can be consumed either by sitting in court and hearing oral narratives, or by allowing the councils to file their papers and write their submissions, and then give the court time to analyze them and make decisions.
So what you're saying is we're not going to have a deputy president
for quite some time.
I'm not saying that.
That's what you're saying.
What's your projection? Like, for how long do you think this case is going to drag or be staggered?
Yeah. Depending on the manpower that the strategy that the court uses, and the manpower that it puts at the disposal, and technology it puts at the disposal of the judges. The applications, probably in another week or so, the urgent applications on whether the conservatory orders stay or are lifted could be dealt with. Probably the petitions could take, in my view, a minimum of 3 months. A minimum.
Did you just say 3 months?
We are already in January.
Working 2025.
Yeah.
That's a minimum of 3 months. So it all depends on, you see, the courts could decide when they hear the application by the respondents, to decide to lift the conservatory order, and with that allow a new deputy president to be sworn in. I keep telling my friends, keep away from court.
Try as much as you can to stay away from court.
Because as advocates, we will lead you to court. Then we will milk you. Unfortunately,
Yes.
Yeah, we will milk you.
Yes.
And encourage you to continue fighting and give you reasons why we think you
should
it is possible that you could win this. Let's appeal. Let's apply for review. No, and we can keep you in court for 10 years.
And it will cost you after you give us the reasons why we need to go back to court. At the end of it all, it's going to cost us a fraction of what we've already spent.
Yeah, even if you win, the cost to you will be high, emotionally, financially. But when you lose, you not only pay your advocate, you also pay the other advocates.
Legal fees.
Yeah, so it can run you broke.
So the best thing is try as much as you can to stay away from courts.
Yeah, definitely.
You people are heartless.
No, it's our business to be in court. it's our business to. It's like telling patients that doctors are heartless because doctors are making money out of them.
Right.
Definitely, we should try not to be sick, but when we fall sick,
But
the doctors have to deal with us.
Why don't we have other cases given the urgency and the speed that we've just witnessed in a case like this? Why is it that is it just because it's a constitutional matter, or
it's not just a constitutional matter? This is a matter of great public interest. I mean, we have a deputy president impeached, and the deputy president is saying that he's not been impeached properly. The president has then nominated somebody to take over. This person has been approved by Parliament. I mean, if you look at the process, that 65% of those who responded during public participation said that they support the impeachment, and 80% of the National Assembly supported the impeachment. Then over 80% of the Senate supported the impeachment, and then the nominee was approved by 100% of those who attended the National Assembly. That is not something that we can take for granted. It means that this matter is a matter of public interest. And since it is a matter of public interest, and apart from that, the fact that, the deputy president deputizes the president, helps the president run the country. But apart from the fact of helping the president run the country, if anything was to happen to the president so that the president is not able to undertake his function, we need a deputy president in place. So right now we are in a situation in which if anything were to happen to the president, God forbid, then we would be in a crisis. There's provision.
Papa Waroma.
That means the leadership is moving to the next arm of government. Okay, it's not the executive,
right?
And it therefore means that there would be a crisis in the executive, because it means Parliament is taking over the running of the executive. Who tells you that the Parliament is skilled in statecraft, is skilled in managing, development and other aspects of governance. Yeah, so it is like military taking over.
Oh.
Yeah, because the military is not skilled in managing the executive arm of the government. So that is a route we should go as a last resort. Yeah, but Parliament also being a very politicized environment, it therefore means that for 90 days we will be in a very politicized environment. But then you also know that we do not have an IBC.
Correct.
So therefore it means that even if it was to be given to the speaker, what would then happen? It means we are going to be in a crisis. Possibility is that we will not be able to undertake elections in 90 days. So therefore, I think these are critical issues that the court need to deal with supersonic speed, if I'm to use the words that were used in court the other day and yesterday, so as to dispense of them, so as to give the country stability. Because without political stability, any idiot somewhere could try and mess up with the country. We do not know who can mess up with the country from which corner.
Yesterday, a political analyst, Professor Nyamori, said that much as you're saying that we need to move with speed, he was of the opinion that we need to take matters very slowly.
He says, what's the rush?
What's the rush for? Like, we need to ensure that each and every party involved feels like justice was dispensed the way it's supposed to be dispensed, because if we rush it, we might end up messing the situation more.
The Constitution provides that justice must be dispensed with expeditiously, and expedition depends on the matter at hand. And as I've mentioned, we are having a matter of great public interest. We are having a matter that could land us into serious constitutional crisis. We need to stabilize the country. It is interesting to note that despite all this crisis, the country's macroeconomic fundamentals have been strengthening. And so if this is to be, if this is to be stretched, it is possible it could start interfering with the confidence that the investors have in our economy. It is possible that you will start seeing those who should loan us or donors who should give us money try to decide to, bid their time. It is possible that you will start seeing those who should be paying their taxes, delay in paying their taxes. And it is possible that we could start having political instability. And we have had political instability in this country. So it is important that we resolve this matter as soon as possible. I disagree with Prof on that matter.